Support, not against it.
Sometimes.
With that. I was about to call you, Jack. Reply for it, maybe.
I'd like to call the meeting of the Halifax County Board of Supervisors to order on Tuesday, May 19th at 6:30 p.m.
And I'd like to call the planning commission to order at this time also.
The invocation will be by Planning Commissioner Smith Magnum, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by myself. If y'all would all stand, please.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for protecting us from seen and unseen dangers. Now, Lord, we ask that you guide our decisions, give us clarity as we discuss the matters and business of this county. We thank you for those who serve faithfully each day, our first responders, our educators, and all who work to strengthen our community. Guide us to be servants to each other and show respect and unity in all that we do. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Board of Supervisors would like attendance roll call, please.
Supervisor Riddle.
Present.
Chair Roller.
Present.
Supervisor Oakes.
Present.
Supervisor Witt.
Present.
Supervisor Thompson.
Present.
Vice Chair Smart.
Present.
Supervisor McDowell.
Here.
Supervisor Claiborne.
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you.
The planning commission would like to have a roll call attendance also.
Commissioner Hughes.
Present.
Chair Giles.
Present.
Commissioner Pierce.
Here.
Vice Chair Jennings.
Here.
Commissioner Watts.
Present.
Commissioner Wimbish.
Present.
Commissioner Smith Mangum.
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
The next order of business is adoption of agenda for the Board of Supervisors.
We have one addition that we would add for I-4, and that's around the public hearing for the FY26 appropriations adjustment.
And that's I-4.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion to amend our agenda to include item I-4, 2026 appropriations adjustment?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by Supervisor Oakes and seconded by Supervisor Riddle to amend our agenda. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. I reckon I should have said agenda as amended, so let's go ahead and approve our agenda as amended. I have a motion for that, please.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Okay, it's been motioned by Supervisor Oakes and seconded by Vice Chair Smart to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries.
At this time, I would like to get a motion to adopt the planning commission agenda. So moved.
Second.
Ms. Maggie, you second?
A second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Pierce and second by Ms. Smith Magnum to approve the agenda for tonight. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? same sign. That motion is adopted.
The next item on our joint meeting agenda is a presentation by Wild Manor for update.
Mr. Chair, if I could, Mr. Chair, before they come, just a short summary of how we get to this presentation tonight. Some time ago, Nick and Molly came to the county, our previous administrator, me and Scott, and we sat down with Nick and Molly to listen to their endeavor, a Wild Manor. And all we heard was giraffes, and that just kind of raised the eyebrow to us. How can we even consider bringing giraffes in this Wild Manor to Halifax County? But this planning commission and board, I think Mr. Pierce was on the planning commission, and I see Ms. Maddie was there. We presented a proposal of adding to our ordinance to allow exotic animals in this bed and breakfast for Molly and Nick. And it's pretty amazing that we're here tonight to listen to this presentation, that they are ready to have a grand opening of Wild Manor. The giraffes are on site. The fencing is there. So it's pretty amazing how we got from point A to point B where we are tonight. This recreation of Wild Manor here in Halifax County. They have been across the world doing interviews. They own TVs and shows of Halifax County. And it's pretty incredible that it's in our back door today. So I asked Molly and Nick to come tonight to present this to you. I think they have opened their doors to the Board and Planning Commission to come and do a tour before they open this week, I believe. Yep, this week. So I just want to give you a short sermon how we got here tonight, this amazing venue that we have in our county of Wild Manor. That being said, Nick and Molly, please come forward.
Much more fun to be coming after your.
So thank you so much for having us. We have been working really hard for a year. We just put pictures so you could see all the updates that we've been doing, what renovations, how things changed in the manor, and then update you on some of the animals. So we had fun with some wallpaper.
We really just, like Mr. Easy said, working with all y'all, and we look forward to meeting the new folks on the different committees. But we just thank you so much for the opportunity to give this a go here. The support and encouragement from y'all, as well as the county and stuff like that, have just been fantastic. And so we couldn't ask, for a better place to be. And we certainly look to make all y'all proud for allowing us to be able to do this.
So we're just going to show some pictures and talk about where we've been and what we've been doing.
So just like Mr. Easley said, we were here on May 6th of last year for y'all to say yes, and so it's just barely been a year. That was us driving back from Tennessee. We left our kids with our family and come straight back here from a vacation to come and talk to y'all. And so, but yeah, just 12 short months. It seems like they went by pretty fast. So in the manor, obviously we updated a whole bunch of stuff. This was walking into the front doors of the manor. Most of the entire thing was just yellow like that. And so it was even difficult picking paints and whatnot because putting swatches on the walls just really didn't read like they're supposed to with that type of stuff. So we refinished all the floors in the house and added some new colors that kind of went with our safari theme that we were wanting to do, and just added some different giraffe elements all throughout the house. So when y'all come, y'all be able to see all the little details and hard work we've been putting into it. This is our dining room, and same token, changed it up and added some things in there. And now our finished product where we'll be able to serve the breakfast to our guests that stay overnight.
And for those that don't know, Tarover is the historic property's name, and it's the same family that had Berry Hill. So the manor itself was built in 1854. So we felt very honored to be able to bring it back to life.
Yeah. And this is the buffet we were able to get food in the morning and stuff like that. So we just added some flair to it. This is the library bar. That was the only piece of furniture that was left in the manor. So we got a baby grand if anybody wants to come and play. Our daughter plays, and so she's been working on her playlist. She's going to come and get paid this summer to play music for everybody. So, and then this is what we changed it up to, a little bit more like classic bar type setting in the library there, with all kinds of little details and fun stuff we found along the way. this is our sitting room for our day guest visits, and so same token, just adding some paint and updating the floors, and then we moved to the baby grand over there because it didn't fit in the bar. But now we have a nice sitting area with kind of some gift shop type things and some stuff showcasing other elements in Halifax County and whatnot with all our brochures and things that we have inside. And then it gets to the bedrooms. This is the front of the house that has the beautiful window looking out over the top. And for some crazy reason, they painted the floors and everything. So we had to fix all of that and add our flair of colors. And so this is our monkey room. It has a little bit of a flair of different primate species that would be found in Africa and stuff like that. Some fun wallpapers and different stuff like that. Some more yellow. This went into the zebra room, and so it's been updated and elevated with a few new extras and little pull-out couches and stuff to try to accommodate for families and whatnot. This is probably like the worst room in the house turned into our best room. This is like the family suite or the suite on the property. So it's our biggest room and fanciest wallpaper, all pink if you like all that. And it'll have a great view out the front windows of the manor from the second floor to see all the animals. You'll be able to see out into the giraffe pasture as well as the front pond, which in time will have flamingos in. Just lots of giraffe details throughout the house. Here's our elephant room. It's adjoining rooms in the manor. They already had the doors in there like you saw, and so this room as well as the leopard room next door can accommodate up to about 8 or 9 guests staying in there. So like larger families or small groups like that with the king and queen pullouts and different stuff like that. And then this is the leopard room. This would be the room right next to that the elephant room that's adjoined to it.
So the idea is that we're opening up for bed and breakfast overnight guests. Then we'll open up for day visits where we'll do educational programming. We actually hired a education manager who is local and worked at Disney doing education programming at the Disney Animal Kingdom, and moved home and thought that part of her life was over and was really excited to have us show up. So she's going to help facilitate all our education, and then we will open up for school groups. So that's kind of how we're staging ourselves, just to make sure we have the appropriate staff.
And yeah, with these last few weeks, the animals have started arriving, which is great. And we have lemurs like was on the conditional use permit. This is Luluani. Her name is Malagasy name from her native place of Madagascar, and it just means the first. So she was our first, so we named her in honor of that. And so she's going to be with some ringtail lemurs, a different species, the ones that most kids know from the dancing King Julian from the movie Madagascar and stuff like that. So she's there and has a nice outdoor space and her indoor space. Everyone's preferring the indoor space the last few days with
the heat
that's been going on. We also have a penguin chick with a few more on the way. So Molly can tell you a little bit about just like the penguins and working with them.
Yep. So we have a 1.5-month-old chick, and then we have 2 more that have hatched. They stay with their parents for an extended period of time, and then they come to us and get acclimated to human care and feeding out of your hand. And we also want penguins that love people and don't want to bite you, so that we can have school groups come and have them, the penguin walking around and doing education programming. So yeah, this little penguin, I have to send in a blood test to figure out if it's a boy or girl. And as soon as I get this open, I can take some time to do so, and then we can name this little chick. And then the moment everyone was waiting for, they've arrived.
So I was disappointed to some that was the trailer that the traffic came in. Everyone was hoping that they'd be able to see their heads, down Main Street and stuff like that. But it's a 13.5-foot custom trailer, obviously, and so our giraffe are young, so they just stood up in the trailer with no problem the whole ride, and they just had a short drive down 360. So they probably drove right by y'all and right if you can. And some people are saying, I saw that with the corner and whatever it was. But so the draft just came in the other day. So 2 boys, 2-year-old and 2.5-year-old and about a 1-year-old. I think Molly probably said before too, but the giraffes in captive setting, obviously, typically they would just leave the herd as males and go create their own herd. herds. So in a captive setting, the males usually at about that 2.5 age range are really welcomed anymore by dad. So these guys were surplus from another facility, and that was how we were able to give them a new forever home. But yeah, so we had them in the barn for a few days just to make sure they got acclimated to their space and knew that that was the safe spot. And then so just the other day, we let them out for the first time, and they came out and loved walking around in the grass and stuff like that. And the funny thing was today it was even hotter, and so they have access to the barn, and they just stay in the barn because it's like 20, 30 degrees. It's so cooler inside. They got fans and all kinds of stuff in there, so they definitely like it here. But yeah, we're super excited to be able to share it with all of y'all. I know there's rules as to how y'all can all congregate, so just letting us know when you guys want to come out and see what you allowed to happen here and see it from the beginning, see how it changes down the road and its growth and whatnot. So,
And then we're really have been doing a lot with getting it out there and marketing, and like he said, we went on national TV, and then even today we hosted all the tourism directors for all the neighboring counties because they want to promote it and they're all really excited. So we put on a little, tour for them and let them see the giraffe from afar. So we're really happy, and we've been working really hard, and we can't wait to share it with all of you and all of Halifax. And then we do, if for everything that we do, whether it's an overnight stay or a day visit to meet one of the animals, if you're a Halifax resident, we give a discount. So there's just a code when you go online to book things in Wild Halifax, and we'll get you in there.
do y'all have any questions for us? I know it was a year ago, and y'all got a whole bunch of stuff that y'all do, but if anyone have any questions about what we've done or anything else that y'all want to know about it, we'd be happy to tell.
I'm curious if there's a meeting kind of conference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for
Maybe
asking.
our next
Third
annual
floor
retreat.
of the manor, has it was the ballroom of the house. So there's 9 fireplaces in it. So there's 2 massive chimneys that come up through the 3rd floor, and other than that, it is wide open. So being that it was all the way up there, we decided to just put a couple offices in our overnight apartment for the bed and breakfast aspects of it. But we also thrifted pretty much everything y'all saw on there, like over the last few years of getting things ready. But we found a massively large old conference table that I had to get up there with a lull to the 3rd floor through the window.
16 feet with like antique animal feet.
Oh,
It's impressive.
So we plan to offer smaller options for stuff like that, where folks can come and get some work done as well as take a break and come see the giraffes and feed some animals, and then get back to business if you need to, or just keep playing if that's what you want to.
The other thing I wanted to say is one of the things that's been most incredible for us is that Halifax, other businesses have been so welcoming. And we've already started all these partnerships with, we're going to do this and you're going to promote us and we're going to promote you. We've now got this little River Road thing happening with Berry Hill and Springfield, where we're like this little trio where we're all working together to get people at each other's places. So, I'm excited for getting to promote everybody here because, come stay with us and then experience what Halifax has.
So, Chair Roller, between Mr. Easley and I, we will try to coordinate a visit for the entire board to get to see it. And if you're looking for piano players, Mr. Easley, being the Renaissance man that he is, probably wouldn't mind moonlighting every now and again.
Well, we're gonna. You looking for a job?
But Mom, I do want to say that I see Dr. Huskin is here, so I hope you can get with the school system.
Yes, we've been connecting. Okay. Yes, we actually wanted to try to do something very soon, but I just don't have everything quite ready to having larger groups there yet. But by fall, I hope we're like full on, and then we're gonna start doing groups really soon. So it's nice to finally meet you. Anybody else have anything?
Done a good job, and
Thank you. We've been working hard, and our kids are going to have a hard time when we're like, "That's not your room anymore." They were claiming things and just living there with us pretty much. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for everything, and we're so excited to show it to you.
The next item on the agenda of public hearings, the first being the conditional use permit application for, Discipleship Holdings Incorporated. Mr. Easley, you want to give us an overview?
Sure. Mr. Chair of the board, Mr. Chair of the Planning Commission, this is a conditional use permit application submitted by Hope Center Ministries. They are looking to purchase a property on Philpott Road to operate a male substance recovery center. So this is a current residence that they would like to convert into a substance recovery center. And I do want to show you a picture of the property before I go further. So this is the current home that they would like to convert to the recovery center. It does have some outbuildings, garage that will be used as well, another garage. So it's a large piece of property. And so what I've done when speaking with Justin is to, when you speak of recovery, it kind of, scares people a lot because you got patients, you got recovery patients. So I asked Justin to hold a community meeting at this location to invite the adjoining property owners in the community to come see the property, to hear from Justin with Hope Centers, to ask any questions, concerns. And I do believe several citizens showed up and asked some questions, and the main concern was security. As always, security is the main concern when you got recovery men on the premises. So we did look at site conditions. How can we mitigate the security? So we do have site conditions put in place that requires, upon approval, that the site be completely secured. I have put conditions in to show, can I put it up next to the conditions? So I did put a condition that will require Hope Center to come to the board meetings on a semi-annual basis to answer any concerns that we hear, that you hear as board members. I know it's in Mr. Thompson District. Also, if any 911 calls has been provided to the 911 center, that we can engage that conversation. So that gives the board the opportunity to engage with Hope Center on if we got to increase, amend anything within the CUP. Like I said, this will be a 7-day, 24-hour recovery center. I think this is a application submittal process that you submit application to Hope Center and they must qualify you to enter the facility. So Justin, I'm gonna allow you to come up to expand on anything I have missed before we open the public hearing. And also Nancy handed out a handout of the property that Justin provided me that got some data, I think assessments of the property as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Easley.
Yes, sir.
And thank you guys for hearing us today. It's a tough act to follow, but I'll try and do it. So Hope Center Ministries is a Christ-centered 12-month discipleship program for men and women struggling with alcohol and drug addiction. We currently operate in 52 locations in 13 different states. We also have missionary satellite campuses in South Africa, Belize, as well as a couple other different countries. In the state of Virginia, we currently operate in Galax County, Wythe County, Henry County, Pittsylvania County, as well as Franklin County. And I sit up here not only as the campus director for our Hope Center Danville location and the district director for our Southeast region, but also a testimony of what Hope Center does. I'm a former resident and graduate of Hope Center Ministries, who came to Hope Center Ministries without hope, and found it through this program, but really found it through God who works through this program. So the program itself is very structured. As I mentioned, it's 12 months long. It's broken down into 3 phases. The first phase is the first 30 days, and it's structured straight from the start. The gentlemen are up at 4:45 in the morning. They eat breakfast as a family at 5 o'clock, followed by devotional at 5:25. The residents in the second phase of the program will go off to their workforce development phase, and then the residents in that first phase will start their Bible studies. They'll go and clean our sponsoring church. They'll go and volunteer at a variety of different food pantries, including God's Pit Crew in Danville, Henry County Food Pantry. As they return at 1 o'clock, they'll do their Bible-based book work, followed by another group. We do Celebrate Recovery, which is a Christ-centered 12-step program, as well as life skills classes. And then that workforce development phase of the program takes place after the 30 days. That's the bulk of the program. So we have relationships with a variety of different businesses that employ the men for the duration of their program, and that's really where our core values come into play. We have a saying: we're here to restore lives, restore families, and restore communities. We don't judge our success based on the number of residents that come to our center, or even the number of residents that graduate our center. We judge our success by the number of residents who continue to stay sober post-graduation, who continue to stay employed post-graduation, who continue to stay connected post-graduation, and continue to attend our sponsoring church, which is Compassion Church. But I would love to open the floor to any questions you guys may have. I know this is a lot. Mr. Easley mentioned our security, what we do at all centers across the country. Each center is outfitted with a camera system that spans the entire property. We have 24-hour staff supervision. 2 during the day are me, our director, and our recovery pastor. And then at night, our night monitor and our interns who stay on the property. So we do take the security of any community that we're in very seriously.
What do y'all do as far as transportation?
So we have 3 15-passenger vans. That's the only really form of transportation the residents will have. Each center is outfitted with 3 vans. And in the event of a resident wanting to leave, we're not holding them, hostage or anything. If they want to leave, we pack them in a van and we get them to where they need to be.
What's your capacity for residents?
It varies at different centers. In Henry County location, 36. Obviously, we're looking for 34 here in Halifax. Some residents in Galax say get up to 38 and even 40.
Curious, looking at the homes, how many bedrooms and all set up in the home. I'm trying to figure out how you get those 34 men situated.
Yeah, so we've gone through the property. I believe the square footage is right around 6,000. There is an area. We're not going to add on to the exterior at all. There are some locations within the current property that we're going to look to redo for bedding. And that's, as Mr. Easley pointed out, there's a house that's located, or currently a garage behind the center that we would look to. It's currently outfitted for a salon, but we would look to turn that into residence for about 10 residents.
Where did these 34 come from?
Some are voluntary, some are coming.
No, I mean, where did they come from? The Halifax residents now?
Yeah, we have Halifax.
Out of town. Where'd they come from?
Yeah, we're open to pretty much anyone. We have some Halifax residents. We have some Pennsylvania County residents. Some from out of state. I actually came here from New York.
Are residents free to come and go? I mean, what's your policy on someone decides they want to participate and then they decide they don't want to participate? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so we just pack them in a van, get their stuff ready, and get them to where they need to be. Their movements during the day, that's where that structure comes into place. Their movement during the day is designed to be monitored at all times. But if they do decide to leave the program, we would get them to where they need to be.
So where do you get your funding?
We are nonprofit, obviously, but we also have what's called that work development phase of the program. And for the first couple of months that they are in that workforce development, those companies are actually paying for the residents to go through the program.
Thank you.
So how many staff members are you planning on having to cover the 24-hour?
Four. Me, the director, our recovery pastor, Wes Chilton, our night monitor, Gary Wilson, and an intern, John Hudson, who's actually a Halifax County resident.
So if something does not work out and they're not successful, what means do you have of getting them back to where they started from, or do you just let them, do you take them back to their hometown?
Yeah, we have a strict policy in terms of we're not just dropping them off on the side of the street. We're making sure they get to, their home, where they need to be.
Any other questions?
Do you have on-site resident staff who live there at the?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Will there be security?
In terms of,
on site?
yeah, in terms of staff, yes, staff, cameras,
Any other questions? Thank you.
thank you very much.
Is that what your neighbor's gonna have?
The Board of Supervisors, opens a public hearing.
The planning commission would like to open the public hearing.
I got one.
Does anybody would like to come and speak in favor of the proposal? Would anybody come and, would like to come and speak against the proposal?
I'm just wondering, between that place and my house is a creek, that's about it. I'm just wondering, like, they have a power failure, do you carry it for it? Do you have a generator? Okay. I don't like being in my backyard, but I guess there's not a whole lot I can do about it, but, no. Anyway, as long as it's safe and secure, that's the main thing.
Sir, what was your name, sir?
Gordon Roll.
State your word exactly as this property in.
So this is 58 West, going west toward Danville, on the, driving west to be on the left-hand side.
Right on the road.
Sorry.
Is it right on the road?
No, it's off the road, I'll say 500 feet off the road, maybe. So I can show you the picture, Mr. McDowell, back. I can show you back to that.
Could you tell us your name?
Yes, my name is Betty Furman. I live in Alton, Virginia. And I live on Coleman Drive. Kind of just hearing about this proposal. I'm against it. I just think there's a lot of people to be bringing into an area that's, there's just too many people. I mean, they're bringing in people that's not here to, if they decide they don't want to be here, then they're going to just release them out into the community. So I don't agree with that. I don't think we need 34 people in Alton, Virginia.
If I can answer Ms. McDowell's question, Ms. McDowell, so 58 West runs parallel. So this is the driveway going back to the property. So it's quite a ways off the road there.
I would like to ask you one more question. What is the recovery time? Does it vary, like a year or 2 years, or
In terms of when they can come to the program?
when they can leave?
A year.
A year?
Yes.
Okay. So after that year, do you all try to place them in the community to get a job, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, that workforce development phase of the program, the goal is for them, that to be their career after. And then we help them with housing. If they don't have driver's license, we help with that. The program is designed to make sure they can stand on their own feet by the time they graduate.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Do they have to submit to random drug testing?
Yes, sir. We randomly drug test twice a month.
I have a question. Is this all voluntary, or is it mandated, or?
It's voluntary. There are people that come in here from the prison system or the court system, but at the end of the day, it's voluntary. We can't stop them from leaving, and once again, we get them to where they want to go.
Who do you have here tonight supporting you?
Yes, so we have our regional director who's in charge of the whole state of Virginia, Hope Center Ministries, Brian Horton. Our recovery pastor, Wes Chilton. Rick Fain, our realtor, and our volunteer who comes in, volunteers and counsels the men, as well as our residents who are arrayed throughout the these
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Now, all these residents are in Pennsylvania County or where?
Pennsylvania, currently Pennsylvania County.
I will say I've had friends and family into a Hope Center.
Really?
And the help they got was amazing.
Amen.
Being first hands on and being involved with that, it was amazing.
Amen.
So I appreciate what you guys do.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you.
Whether or not they take it away from there and make use of it, it's up to them. But
yes, sir.
I was very pleased.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
How do you measure your success, and what are your benchmarks for we're doing a good, good and right, or we're not doing as good as we'd like to do? What are your benchmarks?
So the number of residents who graduate the program and stay employed 3, 6, and 9 months following graduation. The number of residents who come back to actually counsel and counsel current residents. The number of residents who still attend our sponsoring church. And just overall, just connection. But we do monitor who's staying, there's no our recidivism rate, the number of residents who reoffend. We monitor that, stay employed, do their job, and come back and counsel current residents.
Now, you spoke of God's Pit Crew. I do a lot of work with them. I mean, are you willing to let one or two sometimes go out on a build, or?
They just go to the actual facility.
Okay.
And help with like the restocking and everything.
Right.
Randy Johnson's a very good friend of the program.
Okay.
How about recidivism? Do you have a lot of people return program second time?
Yes.
What percentage is that?
I'd say at a facility with over 30 residents, I'd say there's about a 15 to 20% rate of residents that do come back.
Do you have any alumni events?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any alumni events, folks?
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. We have a softball tournament at Dan Daniels Park coming up in June. Every graduation, we graduate the residents that complete the program each month. That's usually the time for alumni to come back and speak. Most of our staff are alumni, including myself. And then we have a spiritual retreat where all the residents and alumni are welcomed.
Chair Grounds, I think the public hearing is still open, so anyone else want to come speak?
Does anybody else would like to come and speak?
My name's Rick Fain. I'm the real estate agent representing buyers and also representing the seller for the property in this thing together. As a real estate agent, I can tell you some logistics about the property. As you can see, it sits on, I think it's 46 acres. So it's way back away from the road, like you said, maybe about 500 feet or more. It's got a border of trees in front, so you can't even see the house from the road. It's very well hidden and private. There's a lot of features about the property that are great for family day for the Hope Center to support these guys while they're in there. A pond, a big gazebo, a pool, a lot of land. There's opportunity for growth, and the salon that Justin talked about, that's also got a 3-car garage attached that has lighting and ceilings and walls and windows and electrical and heat pump and everything in it also. So it's not like they're just going to have cots in an empty garage or anything. So this is a well thought out plan meant to be convenient for the Hope Center, but also convenient for the community. And regarding the comment earlier about releasing anyone to the community, that's not the case. Like he spoke before, anybody that wants to leave can leave at any time, and they'll drive them to their support group or their family or wherever they need to go, and not just say, there you go, run, go be free or anything like that. So I don't think that's really a concern for the community or the residents to be fearful about. I've been doing a Bible study with the Hope Center every Tuesday mornings for probably, I think, 3 years now, and I've never seen any issues like that at all. Everybody is there voluntary. It's a very regimented program, and yes, there's plenty of security. And this is a well-oiled machine, like they said, and all, 5, 6 counties in Virginia, all over the country, and then a couple places worldwide too. So I'm really, really, really proud to be a part of the Hope Center. I was glad I was able to get on with them a few years ago. Any questions for me, real estate wise? Okay.
Come up here.
Darrell Chandler, I do have a question about the security part of it. You say you got 34 people inside the residence 24 hours, and you only have 4 people as far as security. That's only like 8 people per one person. Is there any way you can increase that? Not saying anything bad will happen, but it's better to have than to not have it, basically. I think that's one of the big concerns as far as you got 34 people and only 4 people watching. If something was to go wrong or anything, what measures do you have in place? Because it is in a county, so you're looking at least, what, about a 15-minute response time?
As well as the director and the recovery pastor. And then we also have what's called community leaders within the house, who are residents that have shown themselves to be trustworthy, as well as can handle certain responsibilities. And they get there, obviously there.
So you're gonna be more than 4 people, more than just 4 people, more like 6 people.
In terms of staff, yes.
Works for me. Just asking.
Any other comments at this time? Seeing nobody come to the mic, the planning commission will close the public hearing.
The board of supervisors closes the public hearing.
Mr. Chair, our second public hearing is an application submitted by Mr. James Edmonds, in ED number 6. Mr. Edmonds proposed to operate an event venue and a small concert venue. This will be a new construction, a 78 by 56 building that's have catering areas, dance floors, and bathrooms. This will be built on approximately 10 acres of Mr. Edmonds' property. Mr. Edmonds owns about everything around the property, so there's no a lot of joining property owners. VDOT has looked at the entrance and approved the entrance to be a low volume commercial entrance. We have provided Mr. Edmonds with potential site conditions to control the noise and so forth, the crowd, and Mr. Edmonds has agreed to the site. So Mr. Edmonds already standing the podium, so we'll let him take over from there.
I'm mainly here just to answer any questions. I didn't have a really formal presentation for you, and I'll tell you why. Because my daughter is getting married May 29th of next year, and she wants to get married on the farm. And she had this particular spot she wanted to get married, and so there's nothing there. This is where if you all are familiar with River Road at all, this is where Creekside, the home that burned, sat right there in front of the stone wall. So it's going to be pretty much on the same site as where Creekside used to be. And it's got a beautiful boxwood garden there. It's a beautiful view. It's right in the middle of the farm, so it's not, as Mr. Easley said, it's not really going to bother anybody, hopefully. I can't imagine anybody even know it was there unless you're actually at the event. And so VDOT has approved our entrance. But what I decided to do, if I was going to build a building for the wedding, I may as well build it so that we might be able to use it for further venues, wedding venues, or maybe small bluegrass gospel concerts, local regional groups. It's not that big. It'd probably seat, if you took out, it would actually seat 300 people at a wedding with tables, and then it would seat about 600 people for if it was at max capacity for a concert. So I can't imagine we'd have that many, but nevertheless, it's a 56 by 96 building, and that's what it would accommodate. So there's power on the site. it probably would need to be upgraded. And so before I decided what I was going to build, I wanted to make sure that we were all in accord and agreement that this is something that the county would like to see, and that will help me determine whether I put a tent up or put a nice building. So, be happy to answer any questions.
And what's the capacity?
It will seat 300 people at round tables for a wedding, for instance. And if you set people in a style like this, it would seat about 600.
What do you have for parking?
So we've got the fields around the area there, around the site itself is where the parking would be.
So Mr. Witt, on page 38 in your package, 37, 38.
Yeah.
That's a layout of the parking and the building itself.
I got you. I see.
It's not precise yet, just a rough sketch.
That little drawing that he's referencing there, it's got the venue building, the road coming in. How far is that building gonna be from River Road?
The wedding venue itself, the big building, I would say probably 100 yards, maybe not quite, maybe 250 feet. We're still trying to figure out. I wanted to get it exactly right where you I'm trying to get it where you can't see the road because it's actually above the road there anyway. So it's 250 to 300 feet, I would say, before the building starts.
Steve, I'm assuming all the permit stuff is in order, you know, the road entrance, the water and sewer and all that has already been.
So, yeah, VDOT has approved the entrance, so once Mr. Edmonds could get land approval for the CUP, he can proceed with final building plans, layouts, well and septic permits from the health department. This is just his first step to get county approval to proceed with the venue.
How many bathrooms do you plan to have?
I think there's a formula for that. I'm not sure. I think it's 4. I'm not sure. Whatever the health department recommends is what we're going to go with, of course. But I think it's 4 per bathroom. But I'm not sure. It may be more than that. But we'll do whatever is required.
I think it's 1 per 100 people, 1 bathroom per 100.
Okay. Well, then 6 per. Well, no, I guess it'd be. I don't know how you figure the ratio. You don't know how many men and women you're going to have, but I was thinking 4 per men's room, 4 per ladies' room.
Any other questions from the commission from Mr.
Any more questions from the Board of Supervisors? Thank you, James. The Board of Supervisors opens a public hearing.
The planning commission would like to open the public hearing also. Anyone that would like to speak in favor of the proposal? Please speak, please come to the mic. Anyone that would like to speak against the proposal? Seeing no one come to the mic, I would move that we close the public hearing.
Okay, the Board of Supervisors closes their public hearing.
Chair Grant, we're number F for the minutes approval.
How much we can? So we get a motion from the planning commission to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Windish and second by Ms. Smith Magnum to approve those minutes. All in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? The minutes from previous meeting have been approved. discussion at this time on the conditional use permit for the Hope Center Ministry?
I'd like to make one comment. My property joins to a property that over the last 30 years, it's been a facility there for young adolescents that from all over the country. And they were there because their parents didn't have time to raise them. So sadly, that's the way it is today. And then that I guess they made up the money they didn't want to make, and they left. But and then it became a delinquent home for teenagers, and they were there because the state mandated to be there. They didn't volunteer, and teenagers can make they kind of like a rat. They can get out of the cage, you know, and they came and they came from they would come to the farm, and they were there, I guess because they wanted to get away. And I had conversations with them, and they learned about bulls and cows and poison ivy, but and that didn't go, fare real well because they couldn't keep the kids on the site. And then the last organization came in, and it was for women who were troubled and had problems. They were in recovery from all kinds of different things. And we never heard of anything out of that. It was a real run, I think, and being a neighbor, I didn't see any problems with it. And like I said, the sad thing about all three of us, they weren't faith-based. And it's so good to see something that is faith-based and it comes from the work of the Lord, because we are all God's children. And sometimes we as God's children, I'm sorry, but we make bad choices. But God forgives us. So why shouldn't we forgive our fellow man as Jesus commanded us to do? So I'm just saying that, I personally don't have a problem. And I'm glad to see that there are efforts being made to help men that, are struggling and want to help themselves.
I'd like to add just real quick that, this isn't some small organization that's popped up overnight. They're all over the state, all over the country, and other parts of the world. I mean, this is it's a world class group here. So, I move to approve the conditional use permit for Hope Center Ministries with the 18 proposed site conditions.
Do we have a second to that motion?
A second.
Vice Chair Jennings made the motion, and Commissioner Pierce seconded that motion. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do we need a roll call on that?
If you prefer it, but you don't have to. If you prefer one, you can.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. The next item for us to consider is a conditional use permit application from Election District 6. That was the one that Mr. Edmonds just spoke about. Is there any more discussion from the commissioners on that particular conditional use permit? Hearing none, Ms. Pierce, that in your district?
He's across the creek, but I'll make a motion that
I don't know who did.
I think he's in
He's in District 6, which we don't have a representative.
District 6. Okay. But I'll make a motion that we recommend to the Board of Supervisors that they approve the
I second the motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Pierce and second by Commissioner Hughes to approve the conditional use permit for James Edmonds wedding venue and small concert.
With the 23 proposed site conditions.
Yes, sir. Add that into the motion if there's no objection from you, Mr. Hughes. Put those site conditions. Okay. Any more discussion from the commission? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, that motion passed also. I believe at this time the commission needs a motion to adjourn.
So move.
We have a motion to adjourn, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank y'all.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is a public hearing for polling relocations, and we're gonna wait a few minutes to allow the planning commission people who are over here allow us to clear the room.
Say you come back.
See you later, Mr.
No.
In Atlanta.
He's saving it.
See you later, Dwayne.
All right, y'all have a good
Good night.
They don't come back.
That's all I get. We're gonna shortchange one.
Okay, that's great.
We'll continue after a couple of our board members get back.
Right. Long as they was able to work. Then Fish cousin was murdered yesterday. Yesterday. Did you? From your school.
To take care of the bill, chief's budget, and they done.
Yes. That's very major. Yeah. No, two. This is a thing. Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, okay. That's good.
It was a good night. They were, yeah, they were cut, they were cut. Still looking.
They're driving the agenda, okay. Yes, right
Yeah, I mean. Yeah. 7:30, yeah. 7:29.
Okay, everyone's back now. We will, continue the Board of Supervisors meeting. We have 4 items left on the agenda, and just to make everyone aware that if you're here for the 7:30 public comment on the tax levies, we will do that right afterwards, which is gonna be pretty close after 7:30, but we have a few things to take care of first. The next item on the agenda is a public hearing for the polling relocations. That's pages 67 through 75 in your board package. And Ron, would you want to cover, would you present or? Okay. Anyway, thank you.
That's what I did last time, but okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, the public hearing is about moving the Black Walnut precinct from the Community Action Child Center to the TJM Community Center. The Mount Carmel precinct from the Tuberville Fire Department, to the Tuberville Rotary Club, and the Virgilina Fire Department precinct to the Virgilina Volunteer Association Lodge.
Okay. Does any supervisors have questions? Ms. Harding? Okay, thank you.
That it?
Okay, the Board of Supervisors opens a public hearing on the polling relocations, and anyone wishing to speak in favor of the relocation, please come forward and state your name and let's hear your comments. Anyone wishing to speak against the polling relocations? Well, if none, I will close the Board of Supervisors public hearing on the polling relocations. The next item on the agenda is a resolution 2026-19 naming the disc golf course at Edmonds Park and Arnold Bill Short. It's pages 76 through 78.
Chairman, I'm prepared to talk.
Yeah, okay, do it, please.
And so, for the board members, as many of you know, Mr. Short had been employed with the county for a number of years, and it is my understanding that he was intimately involved with the design of the disc golf course that is currently at Edmonds Park. And so there was a request from the family following his untimely passing, if the board would consider naming the golf course, the disc golf course at Edmonds Park, in honor of Mr. Bill Short and his length of service here within the community, but his personal involvement in championing the disc golf course being located at Edmonds Park. And so we have drafted a resolution that for the board to consider in making this or supporting this particular recommendation. And it is our hope that if the board supports this and votes favorably, that we could have this resolution signed and then signage at the Edmonds Park for the disc golf course, naming it in Mr. Short's honor.
Any questions from board members? I would be happy to entertain a motion for approval of the resolution.
So moved.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by Supervisor Riddle and seconded by Vice Chair Smart to approve resolution 2026-19 in honor of Bill Short. Everyone in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Okay, the motion carries. The next item on the agenda is rescheduling the June 22nd Board of Supervisors meeting until June 30th. Yeah, I don't see a page in mine, but Ron, would you like to?
Ms. Spencer.
Yeah, I'll do it. The state regulations governing the polling place relocations require a 45-day public comment period. That comment period will end on June 30th, 2026. The board needs to vote on the ordinance at that time, and then the ordinance will take effect 30 days after adoption. The ordinance to be effective for the August 4th, 2026 election, it must be adopted no later than July 3rd, 2026, to allow for that 30-day waiting period. So we need to move the June 22nd meeting to the 30th to allow for that 45-day time period.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion, we approve the rescheduling of the, that would be the July meeting, I guess, from June 22nd to June 30th.
Second. Okay, it's been properly motioned by Vice Chair Smart and seconded by Supervisor Riddle to reschedule our June 22nd meeting for June 30th. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries. The last item we have on our agenda is the 2026 appropriation adjustment request for public hearing. So if Ms. Lindsay,
If I may start, because I failed to do this at the regular board meeting, but for all of the board members in the audience, to my left is Ms. Margaret Lindsay. She is serving as the new interim finance director for us. Mr. Montoro is still helping out to close out the FY27 budget proposal. But Ms. Lindsay is also part of the VML VACO organization, and we are grateful for her presence to help take us to the next phase of building upon an improved finance department. So we're certainly grateful for John's tenure and welcome Ms. Lindsay in the process as well.
Thank you. This item before you is nothing brand new in terms of the details that will be behind. Tonight's request is simply to hold a public hearing because all of the items that the board has previously taken action upon did not have an appropriation. It's in my mind, a procedural step. The items have been discussed amongst the board members, with the public and so forth in each of the different meetings. I have listed the $2,700,000 as a not to exceed to make sure that myself and staff can look one more time and be sure we have every single item that has to be appropriated in the fiscal 26 year, since we're nearing the end of the year. So before the meeting on June 1st, and what we'll post with that agenda will be a very brief summary of each item, the relevant meeting when it was discussed previously, for not only board members, but of course the public reviewing the agenda. So again, tonight's request is just for to have a public hearing at the June 1st meeting. I will say the great majority of the money, or a majority of the money, 1.6 million, is related to school requests, the bulk of which are new grant monies, which is great. The other items for the county are a myriad of things, again, that have been before you. Just an example is the opioid abatement monies, which are nearly impossible to budget during this time of budget season. So that is what is before you now.
And, the action we need to take is we need to have a motion to approve it for us to hold a public hearing on these budget appropriations. And that public hearing will be held June 1st during our regular board meeting. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we hold the public hearing for the budget on June the 1st, 2026.
Second.
Okay, it's properly motioned by Supervisor Witt and seconded by Vice Chair Smart for us to hold a public hearing to amend the fiscal year 26 budget for appropriations in the amount of $2,700,000, not to exceed that amount, to be held June 1st. So all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries. I would guess that the next item would be our public hearing on the tax rates. And
Chair Roller, I'm wondering if we need to adjourn the joint meeting and then go back through the roll call for the public hearing for the tax rate.
that would be good. Motion to adjourn this joint meeting.
So moved.
Second.
There's properly motioned by Supervisor Riddle and seconded by Supervisor Witt to adjourn our joint meeting. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. I now call the Halifax County Board of Supervisors meeting to order on Tuesday, May 19th at 7:41 p.m. And the agenda is for a public hearing on the tax rates. And I would like to have an attendance roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Riddle.
Present.
Chair Roller.
Present.
Supervisor Oaks.
Present.
Supervisor Witt.
Present.
Supervisor Thompson.
Present.
Vice Chair Smart.
Present.
Supervisor McDowell.
Here.
Supervisor Claiborne.
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. So the business item is the public hearing on tax rates. Dawn, do you want to address that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this year was a reassessment year for the county, and the county conducted a real assessment of real estate. And as a result, the values of the property that were assessed went up 4.75% over the value that was used 2 years ago, and which was based your tax bills on for the last 2 years. So that 4% increase, we calculated a rate that would keep the amount billed the same, which is called the equalization rate. And that was 2 cents less than the current rate, which is 50 cents. So in order to keep it the same, you'd have to lower it to 48 cents. Right now, the board is proposing to keep the rate at 50%, at 50 cents. So it's an increase caused by the reassessment, not by the change in the tax rates.
The next reassessment is what, in 2028?
Yes,
That would be correct, yes.
So you're talking about keeping this rate the same, so this goes through 2028?
This is basically, go ahead, please.
The tax rate you're setting is just for 1 year. The assessment is going to be the assessment for the next 2 years, yes.
Yeah.
we redo the tax rate every year.
So what you're saying in essence is that, it's still gonna remain 50% on the 100 for real estate.
Correct, yes.
But it's gonna be a 4.75% increase in the assessment.
In the
Yeah,
total.
in average,
total.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
So,
then I know there's been a lot of discussion, but that is a tax increase, and people say, why do you need that? And that's, I'm just gonna say that's inflation. That's 2% a year we're getting increase, and stuff increases for the county too, fuel. And so it's keeping up.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay, well, I will now, open the public hearing on tax rates. Anyone that would like to speak, for or against, I don't know why we need any particular order, but, please come up and state your name and, address, and anyway, the floor is open for comments.
Good afternoon, I'm Maddie Cowan, South Boston, Virginia. And you said the assessment was at 4%? Well, one of my properties was assessed 18.1%. $18,000 more, and I haven't done anything to it. Haven't done anything, even in the painting. And when I met with this reassessment board, I told them that my property was next door to a person who had put this graffiti all over a building. It actually devalues my house. I heard people coming here when we were having solar meetings and talking about how solar farms devalues their property. Yet and still, this person has painted this building that looks like I don't know what it looks like, but I can tell you what. And then one of the members had the audacity to say, it's art. Well, if it's art, you put it beside your house, because I don't need it there. But I think it's a disgrace that they did not honor my request to leave it as it was, and it increased 18.1%. And I think you should leave it at 48%. What you gonna do with the extra money? Thank you.
Ms. Cal, what's the address of their property?
I don't need to know that.
Okay, next.
Good evening, Chairman Roller, members of the board. I was reading the fiscal budget for 2027, and I have a few questions that I'd like to present. In the budgetary column, we have two separate lines for carryover funds. One is for $16,248,870.
Ms. Champion, we're having a public hearing on that budget.
This is.
Okay, you were tied to tax rates. Go ahead then.
Okay, I'm continuing on it. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
No disrespect intended.
No, that's fine.
So, and the second line is for another $2,700,000 for 26-27. So, my question is, with the tax rates that have been proposed with the notice of budget, where are these carryover funds coming from, and why are they not being put to use so we're not taxed additionally on the budget? So the notice of the proposed tax reassessment. Real estate tax increase posting agenda says that we are being assessed 4.75%. My home went up $39,000, which I consider to be more than 4.75%. Will this assessment also affect the current assessment on solar installments in the county, which is currently being assessed at $12,000 per acre? Solar installments, currently I did 9 of them, are assessed at $59 million. With a 4.75% increase, that increases the county's revenue to $2.8 million additionally, which brings the solar assessment revenue to $61 million in assessment, or $296,000 in revenue. So I did the calculations on the 4.75 and used an example of a home value of $144,000 at 50 cents per hundred, which is $724.81. If the same home valued at $144,962 was at the 48-cent discounted rate, it would be $695.82, which is a considerable savings to most of the low income and moderate homeowners in the county. Now, that same home with a tax assessment of 4.75 is now valued at $151,847. So even if the county offered a 2-cent discount, the homeowner still is now paying more, because at the 50 cents they paid $724, but now they're paying $728. So there's no savings in this at all. So we would have been better off leaving it at 50 cents per hundred and the assessment having been left alone. I believe the wording in the notice may be misleading to some point that most homeowners, farmers, and landowners do not comprehend where the 4.75 number has come into effect. We are not saving 2 cents proposed by the board. So I would just like to say that I am opposed to the 4.75 assessment as well as the new tax rate. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Next. No one in favor? With that, I will close the public hearing on tax rates. We will now recess until 8 p.m. for the county budget public hearing, which is 10 minutes from now.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
I would like to call the Board of Supervisors meeting back to order, with the business item being public hearing on county budget. We're gonna get a review on that, Mr. Montoya. Mr. Odo.
Yes. Well, you have the advertised budget, which hopefully, people have seen. The budget, a couple things I'd like to point out. It looks like the budget's, been reduced by $25 million, and you're wondering how that happened. Well, the $25 million is really a reduction in mostly capital projects. In FY26, the county was still spending money on the new high school, and that project finished up pretty much this year, and so that was a great reduction there. You'll notice there are some variances between FY26 and FY27. I have explanations on any that you're interested in. Mainly, again, it has to do with the way projects were budgeted in FY26. And, budget for capital projects is $10 million one year and zero the next. But on an operating basis, basically, not that very much of a variance between the FY26 and FY27 proposed budget. But if you have any specific questions, I mean,
Any questions?
try to answer it.
Bullet number.
Yeah, in your proposal here, one of my questions is why the school wants $2 million more for the demolition. I thought that was already built in to the 129 million.
Yes, and my understanding it was, but the funding was 125 million from bonds and grants, and 4 million was to come from local sources. $1 million, the school board wrote a check to the county, I think 2 years ago, and there was another money that was set aside. So there was still some funds that needed to be done to finish the demolition of the old high school.
So this is not new money, this is carried through money.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and the exclusions. Now, you've got down here 16.6 million. Is that included in this? I mean, I know you're gonna have to have grading, power, surface paving. I mean, is this included in this number that you have?
Which number specifically? I'm sorry.
The 16.6 million.
Under what heading? Is it revenue expenditure?
All right, look down at the first paragraph where it says requires 16.248.87 carryover funds. On the first page.
16.6 is for the new athletic complex which is separate from the high school project. And that was not part of the 129 million for the high school. And if you're talking about what we listed as carryover funds that are used for the county in the general fund, that is the amount of carryover funds needed to balance the general fund budget. Primarily because the 16 million is coming from, a lot of it is carryover. There's some money that's from interest earned on the bonds that can be freed up, as well as a couple of other sources, but basically that 16 million still needs to be funded to have the athletic complex be completed. I guess the project has started, but it's just barely on the way.
I understand the project, but is the money there to do this project? That's my question.
Well, yeah.
Is the money there? We're not looking down the road at the 1%.
Oh, no, we're not committing any future 1% money to this, no.
Okay. So the money's there in the budget for that.
Yes.
Last year, if the board members who were here remember, we signed an agreement sometime in November allocating $10.3 million
right.
of those funds over to the school system. Has that money been allocated yet, or it hasn't been?
My understanding that's included in the 16.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. It hasn't been allocated over to them yet.
Yes, yes.
Did they get $10.2 million?
They have not, sir.
They have not.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the 10 million is part of the 16 million, yes.
Okay, so you're saying that's part of the 16 too?
Yes, so an additional 6.6, I guess.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask this question. Dr. Huskin or one of them can answer it, but the tennis courts, they are in this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So they are gonna be built.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, they've already.
Okay, okay.
Refurbished.
Any other questions, board? Okay, I would like to open the public hearing on the county budget. Anyone would like to speak, please come forward, state your name, and provide your comments, please.
Good evening. Thank y'all for allowing our botanical garden to come speak to you tonight. And I want to introduce you to probably the hardest working women and men I've ever been associated with. So I'm going to ask them to stand. We don't have a full crew here, but we do have a pretty good representation. Wow. They do know how to work. I will tell you that.
This is just a fraction.
Yeah. And this is not all we need, by the way. Since this is a budget meeting, let me list items that we would like for you to consider. We would like the county to start cutting the grass at the botanical garden, since you already cut grass all the way around us, but you don't cut for us. And this is money that we don't have to spend to pay out, by the way. We would like the botanical garden to be added to your county. I'm assuming you have a liability policy. We would like to be added as additional insured on that, because the garden has always had a liability policy, but the fee for it this year is just, it's too much. We cannot afford it, and we're going to have to cancel it. So that's something, I don't think that would cost you any money to add as an additional insured. We would like the county to hire someone to manage the garden. We really need somebody to lead us and to help us keep this garden going. We received a grant for a new well that will be put in probably in June or July, but we need a bathroom. There are a lot of people that come to the garden. They either walk from the trail from Edmonds Park, or visitors come from outside our county. Yesterday, I met a nice couple from Roxborough. They were walking the trail, and they loved it, and they were very complimentary of the garden. But almost the first thing they asked me was, "Where is your bathroom?" So I asked them, I said, "How did y'all find us?" And they said, "We Googled you, and we have really enjoyed it." And it was really a nice couple. The garden was started in 2010 and has been maintained all these years by volunteers with no support from the county or the county or the town, except for the county paying for the well electricity. The structures there are needing repair since most of them are old. The beginning volunteers have aged out, and with not many new volunteers, the garden is in need of help. We have an outside classroom for a lot of students from a local high school and elementary schools coming to learn about plants, trees, and nature. There are a lot of educational items in the garden, like the Native American area, the forestry. We have a music garden, and we have picnic areas. It is a joy for adults and children to walk through the native tree trail that with hand-carved benches and signs on trees describing the trees. This is the only native tree trail in Southern Virginia. Most people think it's just a flower garden, but it is so much more. It is a big asset for Halifax County and the town, and is not being supported or utilized. Just think for a moment. Danville has a casino. Mecklenburg has a large body of water, but our county has its own very own botanical garden, and I want to invite y'all all to come visit us and bring your pocketbooks. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I add one thing? Okay. I was amazed. Oh,
Come on, yes, please.
Okay. I don't have a script.
Don't you?
I took a class last year, 16 weeks of 3-hour classes. And I was amazed at how much I learned from the Master Gardener class, but I was also amazed upon volunteering at the gardens, how much they do with the local high school students. The horticulture class, the landscape class, the agriculture class. This is where they can actually work, and they did. And you can actually get teenagers to do work, manual labor, and they enjoy it. And it bonds them to the garden, to the earth, and to this county. So I would encourage you to support that. I'm all for the new high school and the new athletic complex, but let's give these students that might want to stay here and farm a place to practice. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Could your name, please?
Did I get my real name? I'm Joan Wilson.
Joan Wilson, thank you.
Some of you may know me.
Okay. Next.
I'm Pickett Craddock. I'm another master gardener, and I've worked at the garden for many years. And we need your help to keep the garden beautiful. And we've got all of these people who are moving into the community who are going to want things to do and want things to see. And this is an asset that we really need to build up and not let go down. We were out there yesterday planting about 1,000 native plants. Now, we didn't get them all planted, and it was awful hot yesterday, and today. Um, we're getting older, and we can't do all the stuff that we used to be able to do. And we need someone to help with a manager to help with doing what we can. And we need a bathroom. Every year, dozens of local school children visit this park, and its beautiful flowers and other plants is part of their studies. High school landscaping classes come by bus, as do hundreds of sixth graders, almost all the sixth graders in the county. In season, we have big displays of daffodils and roses and azaleas, the children's music garden, the Native American garden. We're working on an herb garden for residents to come and pick herbs such as basil, mint, and oregano in season. Looking to the future, these gardens are going to be a big draw for the new employees who are going to find Halifax County their home in coming years, if we can maintain them. And we need your help for this. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Randall, and I'm actually one of the newer Master Gardeners as well. I'm with Joan. I completed the class last year. One of the first things I was asked to do was volunteer at the Botanical Gardens, and I recently moved to the county about 4.5 years ago. And I'll tell you, I just wanted to reiterate, one of the things I can say is we have grandkids, we have people from different states that come visit us. Half the time, if not more, we go to another county to entertain those folks. When we have got such a great gem at Edmonds Park, there's already a really nice playground there, but we have a botanical garden, like they were saying. I mean, that's a really great asset that we could really use your support in. And another thing I wanted to reiterate, and I'll step down, or step back. We're very much still willing to do the work. And let me tell you, this young lady right there, Agnes Gregory, if first time I saw that lady yielding a hoe, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, we have a good strength, a lot of force, not just with the hoe, but in terms of labor. And we're willing to help, but we really want you all to partner with us. So we're looking forward to hopefully having your support going forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, while the next person is coming up, I just want to say from a procedural standpoint, it was my assumption that Mrs. Day was speaking on behalf of the entire group, and that warrants 5 minutes as opposed to 3.
Oh.
And so that procedural error is on my part as each, the different members of the group are coming up. So I just want to own that.
I'll be very quick. My name is Pamela Dellin. I've been in the county for about 3.5 years. I came here from South Carolina as a master gardener. And what I love to see is the camaraderie. All of these women and men, yes, we're aging. We cannot keep up with what that garden is. Very quickly, I wanted to let you know, I just met a couple on Sunday. I was out there working, and they were from Florida. And I asked them how they found out about this garden. They said they saw it on the map. They had gone to the visitor center. They were here visiting family in Vernon Hill. So they went to the visitor center on Saturday and made a trip out here on Sunday. And they were just amazed at how much work we have done. And we just cannot continue without help. Again, I'm just going to reiterate what Ms. Day and everyone else has said. It's gorgeous. It's got so much potential. We've also met with a couple of people from the Occaneechi tribe and from the Saponi tribe, and they're willing to come out and do lectures, do on-hands learning with all age, students. And I think that would be a lovely partnership for them and to educate about our Native American heritage. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
also be brief.
My name is Lee Baldwin, and I'm the president of Southside Master Gardeners Association. I've been associated with them since 2018. Well, 2017 is when I began the class. And one of the first people I really met and understood was Agnes. She took us under her wing with the idea that we would come to appreciate the gardens as much as she did. And you know, she has dedicated years to making these gardens more than just what were they essentially an experimental garden at the beginning. Now they've grown into a real vision of the multiple interests of horticultural communities in this region. And what we're doing in the botanical gardens is trying to grow that vision. The effort that Pam was talking about, we have put in an application for supporting a Native American element in our garden. We already have it with Dan Shaw's little section of the garden, but what we want to do is try to combine our efforts with those going on at Occoneechee and in this area to show a Native American consistency across the region and show something about the peoples who have been here for hundreds of years. And we decided to do that during this year in alliance with the 250th anniversary of our country. We just have to keep the vision going. And that's the hardest thing. You know, we have the ideas, we get excited, we start things, and then we find it's tremendously difficult to maintain them. So our goal is to ally ourselves with the county and create for this county a beautifully maintained, unique destination. Where is the nearest botanical gardens? Norfolk, either Norfolk or Richmond, right? Okay. I mean, our area doesn't have anything like this. And, you know, it's right over there near the track. So, I mean, you can get people who have different interests to keep them entertained. But more importantly, I think there's so much that's already been invested there. And if we can't maintain it, it would be such a loss. So thank you for hearing us, and thank you for inviting us to come.
Thank you.
Thirsty Sherman, Virgilina, Virginia. I know that we're talking about the budget tonight, but when you talk about it, can you actually tell us what page the item that you're talking about is on so that we can kind of follow it a little bit better? Because y'all know, you almost have to be a Philadelphia lawyer to read any of this. So when you're talking about the line items, if you could let us know what page you're on so we can kind of follow with you. Thank you.
Chairman Roller, I'd like to say thank you for telling me I was in the wrong area for my budget. But I did notice on the fiscal year 2026, we have a carryover fund into 2027 for $16,248. But it is not showing that it was in fiscal year 2026. So did we not have that money in 2026? It doesn't show on the yearly calculations that it was there. And then further down on the budgetary items, we have another carryover funds of a bit more than $4 million from 2026 that we're carrying over $2.7 million into 2027. But my main question is the 16 million in the first line, why is it not showing in fiscal year 2026 as a line item?
Toro, would you like to address
Yeah,
that?
the carryover isn't a carryover from the operations from the prior year.
Mm-hmm.
It's really an available fund balance that has been accumulated and maintained. And the board has designated as part of that for debt service and for other means just to have kind of as a savings account.
So would those two carryover fund lines be from different revenue factors, or were they just not combined?
Well, the 16 million was there to balance the general fund budget. The 2.7 million was the amount of carryover funds the school board requested to balance their.
So where would that 16 million have come from?
Prior years.
So why wasn't it noted in the 2026 budget that we had that much money when we were watching our counterparts and our neighbors argue about the school fields and the athletic fields? If we had that amount of money then, and it's not posted that we had it in 2026, how did it appear for 2027? The money had to come from somewhere.
Yes.
So I'd like to know where that came from.
The amount of carryover funds that the county has is not the number that's put here. It's what was needed to balance the budget.
Uh-huh. So we may not have that $16 million?
Oh, we have it.
So how much of that 16 million was there last year?
I don't know.
Somebody should know, because it should have been in the total for the budget line for 2026.
It wasn't needed for 26,
so we would have carried it over from 25 into 26.
And 24 and 23 for many
but
years.
We still should have had a figure.
If it wasn't needed to balance the budget, in other words, if expenses for that year were covered by current year revenue, you don't need to have any dip into your savings account, if you will. So the fact that there's zero for FY26 doesn't mean there wasn't money there. It just means it wasn't needed to balance this budget.
But we needed it for the athletic fields for the school.
If I may, it's having just been through the DACO budget class for those that are not.
And I'm not trying to be argumentative, I'm just trying to understand that line.
Yeah, and I don't want to be out of line, but when they say carryover, there's a budget, like there's 167 millions. At the end of next year, it likely will not all be spent. Okay? And it'll be in different funds. We have different, call them checking books or different funds. And so that money that's left, carryover is when we say we're going to allocate what wasn't spent to the next year. Does that make sense?
It does, but it should still be a total, like this 16 million, if we don't spend it this year in 2027, then the 2028 budget should still have that $16 million there.
For instance, it's not a 1 year thing. We have in each of our funds or checkbooks, if you will, we try to keep a certain percentage. You never want to zero that out. And that varies a little bit from year to year. And so the carryover is when you're spending what was left over from not just that year, but previous years. It tends to build. And we have a gentleman's agreement with the various departments that if they don't spend all of their money, we will allocate it as a carryover, because we don't want them to get into the habit, we got to spend all our money. So it's just left over from previous years.
So it's brought in from different departments, like maybe social services or the Department of Recreation?
In this case, it was school funds that were left over.
So since we have that $16 million, is there something that we can do for fiscal year 2027 with that money, not saying to use it all, that we can do for the youth of the county for summer programs?
That money's allocated for schools, but
But this just says it's carryover revenue, so it's not been allocated. But
it's being allocated here. It's being allocated. The 16.2 million is being allocated for the.
This was an operating budget, so those funds are budgeted to operate next year. Carryovers over here somewhere. We didn't use carryover money last year for operations. We are using it this year for operations. That's where the 16 million comes from. It's accounted for in this budget because we have expenditures down here that we have to have the revenue.
Yes, sir. I understand. Like I said, I was just trying to figure out why there was nothing in that line item. And then I thought if we didn't have an expenditure that covered that 16 million, or the 2.74 million below it, maybe we could do something for the kids in this community that would keep them off the streets in the summertime.
Yeah, what you're seeing is in the budget, we didn't need to carry over money last year.
Mhm.
This year, essentially with expenditures exceeded what we are estimating we're gonna spend. Therefore, we carried over money to make the budget balance.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Sandy Slayton. I live in Halifax County, Salishan neighborhood, and I want to talk about tennis a minute. It's been very confusing, and we're very happy that tennis is included in the school board's plan. But tennis, not just for students, is important. It's important for our residents. If you want to play softball, baseball, soccer, there are leagues you can join. There's places you can go to play. But there's nothing for tennis except for the 6 courts at the high school, which are now in such bad shape that we are only allowed to use 4 of them. They're falling apart, and the plan is to fix those courts. And we're very grateful for that. But I just want to make sure that you guys all know that we need a place for young people to play in the summertime, for families to play at nighttime, for grandma to bring little one or a teenager to play on Saturday or in the summertime or anytime. So, tennis is a sport that is accessible to everybody because you only need a racket. You only have to buy that once. You don't have to buy a lot of equipment. You don't have to pay a league fee. You don't have to buy a uniform. You can just get out there and learn the game. It's one of the best sports for anybody to play for health, and it's something that you can play from when you're 2 years old to when you're 87 years old. So I think it's incumbent upon us all to work together so that not only do our students have a place to compete and practice and learn, but that everybody in the county, those who don't know tennis, can come and learn it somewhere, can go and play it at any time. I understand the idea of closing the courts during the school day, but it's just we need to make a plan so that there are courts available somewhere for the public. The middle school courts are a disgrace and have been for a long time, and yet that is where our varsity teams have to practice. Girls practice 1 week at the middle school while the boys at the high school. The next week we flip-flop. When we're at the middle school, we're very limited in what we can do because the cracks are wider than your hand. And now we have the same problem at the high school, cracks wider than your hand running throughout two of the 6 courts, which that problem's going to be fixed. But I just wanted, rather than call each one of you this week and say, please make sure that when you're planning, there is some access for the public, I just thought I would say it tonight when you're all here, because it is important. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, hearing none, I close the public hearing
And Mr. Chairman,
on the budget. Yes, go ahead.
I want to say what a wonderful presentation the Botanical Gardens did tonight. It was amazing. Thank you all for what you do.
And
Absolutely.
along with Mr. Chairman, I wanted the Botanical Gardens to know, those in the Finance Committee, we have included the funding to cut the grass from now on, and that's already been done.
So that's in the budget.
That's in the budget, which will take effect 1 July. Yeah. I know we have other things, but that step's finished.
And to Sandy and others speaking of the budget, you can only fix so much at one time, okay? I mean, there's only so much money to go around, and we've got everything, we've got all the input. This board will have to make a decision of, what the priorities are and how much money we have to put towards those. We appreciate all the input and what the citizens want for this county, And I think this board will give everything they can that's reasonable and within our means. That's my take on it.
Anyone else comment, advise, supervisor? Be happy to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Supervisor Rowland, second by Vice Chair Smart to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. Meeting adjourned. Thank y'all.
Wake up. Wake up. You did?
Budget is how revenue to spend next year. They ain't looking at the savings. But we don't have to actually.
Good.
I know we're not here exactly.